Alright. This run, I'm going to be showing off the strats I'll be doing in a marathon setting. This will be my submission video for SGDQ 2017. Try to explain some things as I go through the run. Other times I just have to focus on some of the tricks. That's a pretty hard set of wall jumps. Counts for 90% of my resets. And most other runners. Just a lot of text and everything. I think I forgot to change it to stereo mode. Game sounds a bit louder this time through. That's fun. Lets me hear the deep bass. I like the bass. I'll just turn the volume down a little bit when I get to the elevator. There we go. Much better. At least it sounds much better right now. This is a fairly quiet part of the game. Lost a little bit of time since I didn't get out of the elevator as soon as I should have. Or out of the monologue there, when I was adjusting the sound. That's fine. We go by in-game time for records purposes. And then all the text sequences don't count towards that, or any door transitions. Alright, this is the 0% run, so I get no missile pack expansions, no power bomb expansions, or no E-tanks. Alright, these side doors, the first two takes 3 missiles to kill. Using a little bit of hitbox manipulation, I can get a double missile on them. Arachnus, the big portion of RNG is how soon he rolls. And hope I don't tink any missiles. The evasive zombie. That's gonna hurt a little bit for Sector 1, but that's fine. I'll be fine after the first stabilizer. Okay, coming up is Sector 1. The key thing on this sector is there's these 5 stabilizers that I need to destroy. In the process, I'm going to be picking up the charge beam after my next boss. The key strat up until I get to the boss is I basically want to be at full health. How the drops work on this game, so every time you kill an enemy, these X-parasites spawn. They can be yellow, green, or red. Yellow refills 10 energy, green refills 2 missiles, red refill, for the purpose of this run, is a full refill. Being at full health guarantees I get a green X if I'm not full on missiles. Being at full missiles and not full health guarantees I get a yellow X. And then there's always a really small chance of getting a red X drop. I'll always get a red X drop from an eye door. And so most of the time I am going to be getting refills from that. On this room, I can either see 2 pirates or up to 5 pirates on the wall. That's all RNG. So hopefully I don't see more than 2. Because my current strat just accounts for that one for being optimal. These stabilizers always drop green X when you destroy them. If you don't have full missiles, that is. I took an extra hit, but that's fine. My missile count is really good, so I'm gonna be fine now. I'll be shooting a few missiles in this room, but each pirate gives me 2x. So it should be... Oh, that pirate's out to get me. Oh, that's fine. Alright. Basically, when I get to this point, after I leave this room, I want to be at least 5 missiles. At this point, I don't care about my health anymore. Because this... things that can go wrong when I try to do the double missiles on this door, or any door rather, is I can actually get a double team by shooting too high and too low at the same time. But I definitely need to be here with at least 3 missiles, so I can destroy the door without any farming. Take a little bit of a safe strat here. This is a fairly safe spot. Try to double down and get 2 missiles on the core. So basically, if you can get 2 missiles, so on the eye doors and all the cores, there's an invulnerability time after you hit them with the missile. Oops. Messed up that stabilizer a little bit. That's fine. But anyways, every time you hit the door or a core, there's an invulnerability time. But if you can get 2 missiles to connect on the same frame, it'll give you double the damage, and then cut off one of the invincibility cycles from it. So we have setups for almost every single core in the game. A lot of it's just more about leading it perfectly, just getting used to how the cores just respond to Samus's movement. On most of the early bosses cores, they're fairly easy to get and lure around. As I upgrade my missiles, the speed of the missile increases, and the delay, the cooldown between missiles increases. So, for each missile upgrade I get, it gets a little bit harder each time to get the double missiles. It gives me a much smaller window. Alright, so from that boss, I got the charge beam. So after that boss, I no longer have to get 3 missiles onto the doors, since I'll be able to one-shot them now with this charge beam. How the sprites look on screen isn't. It looks like it's only 1 part. But the charge beam actually has 2 parts. Each part does 10 damage, and then there's a flare that you see coming right around, like outside the cannon on Samus's arm, and then that does an additional 6 damage. So if I get up really close to the eye doors, I can one-shot them with that knowledge. Not a whole lot to say about Sector 2. Just basic run around. I'll get bombs in a little bit after I unlock the blue doors. Huh. Getting hit by these red creatures, the Zoros, they do 45 damage to me, so I definitely don't want to get hit by them anymore. After a few rooms from now, it gets pretty missile intense, so I do want to be close to full health to make sure I have enough missiles for the best strats. Okay, this is just got the bombs. Like, unlike bombs in, say, Super Metroid or Zero Mission, the timer on these bombs are pretty long, and then the bomb jump mechanics are that Samus can only get bomb jumps, or can only get boosted by a bomb if she has 0 velocity. So that renders bomb jumping impossible in Fusion. The infinite bomb jumping. I mean, there are some tactile things that allow you to do it by manipulating same as this velocity. So every time I break out of a spin or unmorph in midair, Samus's velocity resets to 0. And then doing that several times allows you to bomb jump infinitely. But unfortunately, due to the event system in this game, even that it's nothing the task can utilize for anything useful. It's hard coded that we have to visit so many different things. So, and then they try to limit where you go by your abilities. But if you develop a special technique to bypass some of it, the game still doesn't let you because you skip the point where it wants you to go. Alright, so we got Zazubi coming up. It's a pretty easy boss. Its main source of RNG is how many wasted jumps it can do. This round, you can jump up to 3 wasted times, just like right now. Then he'll be able to be hit right there. Second round, he'll always do 1 wasted jump. You can go up to 4. And then this third round is always guaranteed 2. And then this last round right here, he always opens. It's Metroid Fusion tradition to try to shoot a missile that goes between that ceiling that Ouch is on and the Ouch itself and hit open the door. Alright, nothing much to do in this room, just kind of wait for the SAX to open this door and leave a little bit. There is a method to skip this encounter, but it's ultra risky, and safety saving for it isn't worth it. Basically lose all the time you would save by doing the skip. Not a whole lot to say about Sector 4. You will see the first instance of a jump extend right there, taking advantage of the fact that when I break out a spin jump, either by shooting or pressing up, it resets Samus's velocity. It takes Samus a little bit longer to accelerate for the fall, so that lets me gain a little bit of extra distance to make a jump I otherwise wouldn't have made. Oops. Right here a little bit. That ouch right there, I would like to see him go down instead of go up this wall right the ceiling right there. This will be my first safety save of the run. I'm actually perfectly safe right now. I especially want to take it if for whatever reason I end up with less than 40 energy at that point. So the eye doors, the beams are all RNG. How many beams you get? You can get anywhere from 0 to 4 between shots. Each beam does 10 damage to you. So if I see 4 beams, I'm basically going to get hit 4 times. It's really hard to avoid the beams underwater. Alright, and now we got Ceres. The start of this fight is always the same. He can get right here. He runs out of vulnerability right here, just in time to hit him. Then from here, I'm hoping to see some good patterns. That's not what I wanted to see. We'll hang out right here for him and finish him off right there. I was supposed to finish him off in 2 rounds. I don't mess that one up too much. But basically, there's RNG as far as how he goes through. This is the on his 3rd pass through after I hit him the first time, either you want to see him go straight across or do a zigzag. Alright. At this part of the run, until I get past the next boss, health and missiles are on a premium. So I'm going to avoid shooting any missiles now for a little bit. I want to be at full health and full missiles for the next boss. Whoops. No. What I attempted to do is unmorph really close to the ground so I can just spark across on the bottom. It's a fairly tight trick. Okay, so coming up in Sector 3, there's a missile pack there. We call him Bob. It used to be thought that 1% was the humanly possible lowest that you can grab. There's a room that's set up not about a couple minutes into the sector. How it's laid out, without any sort of glitches or magic, you would have to collect this missile pack. There was a task method that was found several years ago that with 6 frames of error you can hold a shine spark and bypass a barrier that would otherwise block you, that forced you to go down and bob. But around March of about this time last year, ZX discovered on the English cart and the European cartridge version of this game, you can get Samus to clip out of bounds, and then you can skip that missile. Then after I unlock these doors, I am going to take a safety save. The thing with this clip is if you it is a frame perfect trick. If you fail it and jump too high, it leads to a reset. So I definitely want to do this safety save now. Go into the nav room a little bit so I can get speed booster in time, so I don't have to go through this big room the long way. Oops. Alright. I'm going to attempt to store a spark the same frame I break a block like that. And oops. I was supposed to spark up that shaft. I did a weird jump there. Alright, so this is the clip. I'm gonna be quiet here so I can focus on this a bit. There we go. So that's just a sample of how long this can take if things don't go properly. Gotta be careful on this room since I took a hit earlier. These side hoppers can one-shot me. If at the health I was at. But something that could have gone wrong on that skip is I could have jumped straight up through that block underneath the missile pack. Then that would have been a reset. Nothing bad should happen between now and my next safety save. But in case anything does happen, I am going to take this safety save right here. Welcome to box. Wow. Did a weird mistake where I shot a missile the wrong way. Alright, so I like to leave box with full energy so I can do that missile farm shot right there. Because early next sector, I need 3 missiles to destroy a barrier. Alternately, there's a Shine Spark strat I could do if I didn't have enough missiles for whatever reason. But being at full health guarantees I get those drops. And then the backup to having no missiles, it's pretty easy backup as well, and you don't lose that much time. So if I didn't have enough missiles, I would spark in the other room, and then then that charge store will last long enough for me to spark to that barrier. So it's not a huge deal if I don't have enough missiles entering this sector. Sector 6, there's not really a whole lot else to say about this sector. He's pretty low, so it's more fun for him. So this blue X, if I collect them, they do around 80 damage to me. When I get here, I want to be at least 21 energy. The SA-X is going to drop a power bomb to destroy that wall there. It does 20 damage to Samus. If I'm lower than that, I can hang it on the far left side of the room and the power bomb won't hit me, but that wastes a bit of time. Coming up is one of the first tricky bosses in 0%. A lot of things can go wrong, typically won't, but for marathons, better be safe. Okay, this is the Mega Corex. Come here to spawn him. My big goal in this fight is to not lose track of him. It was too far off to the left for me to get a double, but these doubles are fairly safe. So I'm not too worried about dying to it. Alright, so with the collection of the various suit, the blue eggs heal me for 30 now instead of hurting me for 80. Alright, so some of the shots I'm going to be doing seem rather odd. How the RNG works on enemy patterns, majority of the enemies have 2 different directions they'll be going once I enter the room. The exception are these puffers, they have 4. So the shots that I'm doing account for all the patterns, so I don't really lose time, even if I have a not so great pattern. Not a whole lot to say about Sector 5 on this first trip through. My goal here is to grab the ice missiles and leave, but before I do that I need to unlock the yellow doors. Technique I'm trying to do throughout this is destroy enemies as soon as I can. It's critical that I am at full health and at least 6 missiles leaving the sector. Being at full health normally is an issue. There's a lot of blue X in this sector that heal me for 30. Go back here. This just makes this part right here consistent. That wave can wreck your day. Huh. That's a nice position for you. Not worried about my health yet. I should be at close to full. I'll probably be at full health leaving the next room. There's a blue X that is normally in my way as I make it through this room. Normally get this one right there. And then there's still plenty of other opportunities to heal throughout the rest of the sector. Okay, so with the ice missiles, I can no longer one-shot any enemies. Because now I'm going to be freezing them first before that. So I have to go back to resorting to using charge beam as much as I can. Which I tend to do anyway, but... I normally get this ice axe, so I just hold a charged beam, then release during transition. I don't get him every time. Oh, that's an unfortunate movement from them. Oh well. Should be fine now. Yeah, I'll be fine.
Emergency in Sector 3. Emergency in Sector 3.
I actually just want to be 2x away from being at full everything. Ooh, I forgot to do a safety save. And then I would do a safety save right before going to this nav room.
Minute to main boiler explosion.
Because this can be a pretty intense section. There's not a whole lot of RNG that can mess you up though, so we'll be fine. So, welcome to Emergency. Chat likes to do Emergency and Frank Procedure in this section. The only difference, if I had full energy and missiles, I would use missiles on that guy. And the reason I can be 2x short is because of this room. Basically guaranteed to kill these birds right here and get their X. There's gonna be a lot of missile uses the rest of this segment. So I want to be at full energy as much as I can. So I can get the missile drops. Thank you for no beams. Got that double. Nice. That's actually a pretty solid emergency. That was some interesting positioning from you. Alright, so remember Bob that we skipped earlier? Um, the developers completely intended for you to get that. So if you've managed to skip it somehow, it's going to be gone next time we come to this room. Because within the ROM itself, I'm technically in a different room because it's in a different state. And then, since developers never thought we'd find a way to skip it, they just didn't bother putting it back in later on. So, I'm now getting ready to save the animals. Unfortunately, there is no option to kill or at least skip the animals. Oops, failed to jump extend. It's fine. Backing up from that isn't too slow. There's an even riskier strat I could go for. But failing that means I take 80 damage. And it's pretty tight. And not marathon friendly at all. Lost my jump. You'll see a much longer version of that exact same spark after a while. Here I'm just grabbing power bombs. Alright, time for another Sax encounter. I'll do this one a little bit safer than I would run. In a PB attempt, rather. That ice beam can one-shot me, so if my movement is too weird, I'm dead. I messed this up. Something's a little bit too slow in that room. What I was trying to do was I wanted to freeze one of those enemies and just wall jump up the left side of the room. Oh, surprised I didn't pseudo screw him. Alright, I'm gonna take a safety save here. There's a room coming up between here and the ship that can wreck you. I can get one or two shotted now. They do 80, I think 82 damage. Maybe we'll take one hit. And I have to get speed booster in that room. Because there's no other alternative in 0% to get through the room other than to get speed booster. His other path has an item block in the way. Got a power bomb here to destroy that block right there early. Already on that. So this room can be scary. I can typically react to these spitters. Yeah, those little yellow drops, they do 82 damage or something like that. 82 to 86, one of those. I'm going to be taking a safety save at the ship. Not yet. Because if I did that save right there, I have to make sure to go back in the ship and do this dialogue right here. So after I finish this dialogue, I'm gonna hop back in the ship and safety save. So this signifies basically the extremely tough part of the game. There's a lot of small things that could go wrong. There's an energy tank that can be tricky to jump over. I don't grab it too often. But the enemies between now and the next boss can two-shot me. Energy tank can be tricky to jump over. I want to be hitless before this room because this guy is hard to read. Because he can fire at you off screen, and then it's really hard to react to. So I like to save my safety hit for him. Alright, so this boss coming up can be really tricky. So welcome to Yakuza. His patterns in this little phase are pretty set. He can do this pattern up to 4 times before he opens his mouth so I can hurt him again. Aw. There's a really particular setup. It's within pixels of having to be pixel perfect, where he could have been dead right there. It's really tight. You have to do a lot of damage to him. This is one place where the run can die. Oh, diagonal. Alright, this will be the last time that I see Sax before... Next time I see Sax, it'll be a boss battle. This section is pretty safe, since I can just freeze Sax and escape like that. Have to be a little bit careful. Basically, you just don't want to have any missteps, because there's a key hunter there that can one-shot me. But do that room good, do that room quickly, and then it's actually pretty lenient on how quickly you have to do it to be safe. And take a safety save here, because I don't want to fight Yakuza again, the spider boss. The next boss is pretty safe. BH Adams shortly. But then there's the section between this next boss and the boss afterwards, where it could be kind of dangerous. So this boss is just shooting lots of charge beams, dropping power bombs. Saying in this particular spot, in the first phase, the left fire won't hit me with anything. Oops. One more hit and you'll be dead. Alright, coming up on in the next sector is and then the next sector and a half is probably the hardest part of the entire run. Okay, I'm gonna start the sector with the same setup as I did last time I was here. Get a spark. Because Nightmare was on the loose. A lot of this sector is now destroyed, and then all the icy stuff is gone now. So it got replaced with water, since it all melted. Okay. I hit my direction too soon. But here's an easy backup for that. Longest spark of the game. Takes me through several rooms. I normally don't have to use that backup. This room has some very specific spots to shoot my beams and missiles to guarantee I make it through in one shot. This could be a room that if it goes wrong goes very poorly. Kill him. Absolutely critical safety save right here. Okay, coming up is the hardest boss in the game. I'm not going to be saying too much on him. But basically I get one safety hit. I'll be doing one thing up until I get hit, if I get hit. Oops. I want it to be at 2 missiles. He's not gonna. Oh, he's dead. So, so the Nightmare is gonna be stopping from time to time, and then I'm gonna try to get as much shots as I can. Then at the end of each time he stops, he's gonna be chasing me a little bit. His initial movement is random. Then after that, I can either keep him in an infinite loop, or if I keep him on screen at the right time for long enough, he will stop, and then I can get more shots in. Each loop costs about 2 or 3 seconds. So up until I get hit, I want to keep stopping him as much as I can. But if I get hit, I want to keep him in an infinite loop for safety. Because stopping him can be a bit risky, since that first initial movement is random, so I don't know which way he's going to be going, and then if I get a bad pattern, I get hit. I can react to 90% of the patterns. Okay, so something I didn't actually cover at all during this run was art shooting. So when if I have more than one or more missiles in my inventory right now, if I hit R, I can shoot my charge beam by tapping R, and then it won't break me out of spin like that. Oops, missed that one. That was a pretty good fight. So that's probably the hardest boss fight of the game. Um, it just takes a lot of practice and work and just being on top of your reading game on him. But that's not the hardest part of the run. This section right here, up until I get to the diffusion missiles, can be pretty brutal. A lot of tight spaces and enemies that hit hard. And as a result, I'm going to be... Wow. Should not be talking as I do that. Hold on. As a result, I'm taking this safety save. This section has lots of dangerous enemies, so I'm probably going to be quiet for most of the rest of this part. Got the power bomb at the wrong spot. Just be quiet so I can focus. Do that room quickly. That little mini dragon will never hurt you. Alright, so the dangerous part is pretty much done now. Yeah, and just a lot of tight spaces and enemies that hurt pretty hard. Alright, diffusion missiles. Shoot little snowflakes, or little ice flakes, if I have it charged up. Basically only used to for its actual purpose a couple times in the run. Really want to be at full missiles pretty soon. Alright, should be fine. There we go.
Warning, no entry without authorization. Warning, no entry without authorization.
Take a safety save here.
Warning, no entry
Since it's been a while since I safety saved.
Warning, no entry
It can be pretty easy to die down the next boss if something goes wrong.
Warning, no entry without authorization.
Pretty good fight.
Warning, no entry without authorization. Warning, no entry without authorization. Warning, no entry without authorization.
This next whole section is pretty safe.
Warning, no entry without authorization. Warning, no entry without authorization. Fire alert. This sector will soon be locked down. 60 seconds to isolation lockdown.
Take this room safer than I normally would. By only spying one at a time. The game is just checking to see if I'm behind the pirates, and the way it checks is making sure we're seeing if we're facing the same direction. Take a safety save for Ridley. Not a whole lot can go wrong unless I start dropping space jumps. Alright, that was fun all over the game. I like to powerbomb his eye, others like to... That was an over fight. Nice double. And that was Ridley. Basically, continuation using the R shots the entire time. Stay in that little corner and do the space jumps well, you will never get hit. Oops, fail pacifist. Got a little bit of brain fart right there. Not a lot to say about this little journey. Oops. Alright, time for the final item dialogue for the run. This one lasts a few minutes. There we go. Okay, before I make it to the SAX fight, I'll just do a quick explanation about what's going on in that one. So normally so the only thing that damages SAX is your charged wave plasma shot. Typically whenever you do damage the SAX, she has a little bit of a knockback. Missiles, they don't do any damage to her, but they can freeze her. So if I keep her frozen, she doesn't have that knockback. So ideally, I would kill SAX in 4 shots, but it can take 4 or 6 shots, depending on how perfect the positioning is. And that's the first phase. Take this final safety save. Basically, one hit will kill me the rest of the game. Second phase, in SX is a really high jump. So I'm gonna try doing a vertical shot straight upwards that travels basically with SAX and does massive damage. And then a great thing about screw attack is I am invulnerable to the ice beam that the core is gonna be shooting at me. That was fine. You just have to be really careful not to hit the second form as it is turning around. It'll soft lock the game. Take 6 missiles. 3. After the 4th missile, I'm gonna start going up and lured toward the center. Yeah, that was a sweet spot. But screw attack saved me right there, because I had a nice beam pass through me. That would have been a one-shot kill. Not much to say about this escape. I'm going to be trying to go for one more low height Shine Spark. Pretty soon. Nope, not low enough. That's fine. But it gets me that far. Turn around as soon as the screen stops moving. And IA Omega. Gotta wait for you to swipe. Okay, so while I'm waiting to gain control again, the quick kill for Omega, I need to silent life in a very specific spot. It's basically where the SIX is, and then over like 1 more foot. And then I'll be mashing right there. And then mash B, and then it'll be an infinite stun lock, and he will not kill me. And that's time. I think the plan is JRP is going to be submitting as well. I think he wants to do a solo run. At the same time, and he also said he wouldn't mind a race as well. My plan is I want to submit this as a race against JRP Gaming and Hercules Bench Press, or as a backup for JRP on the solo run. So thank you for your time, and then this was a nice deathless run to show off the marathon, the strats I would do for a marathon setting of this category. Then we'll let the credits run out so we can see the in-game time. Alright, and that's Metroid Fusion. Thanks for watching.